Rich Piana, a famous bodybuilder who died back in 2017, once stated, "If you have the choice to stay natural, do steroids. Stay natural. There's no reason to do steroids. You're hurting your body and you're hurting yourself." Although I feel like steroids do have this like appeal to many people because it will make you stronger and look better, honestly, you are hurting yourself, and I completely agree with Rich Piana and his stance that he had on steroids before he died. This topic is extremely relevant now in our society, and there's many people that face the question of like, should I take steroids? And me personally, I would say no every single time. Although it may seem great and all, just the negative side effects that it can cause to you emotionally, mentally, physically, all of that, it just outweighs any of the good effects it can have for your body. And personally, I've never taken steroids, but I do know a lot about it, and I do know a few users. And although like they do take them, and I don't particularly agree, I still respect them. They still put in the work, and although I feel like they do know about what could happen to their body by taking them, but they just want to compete at a high level, and I at least respect their decision to take it. And honestly, I just feel like they should be banned because of all the psychological effects it can cause, negative health effects it can cause, and also just the unfair advantage it creates. Now, many steroid users become dependent on steroids. Honestly, they use it no matter the health risks. They don't really care. And withdrawals can happen from that. And steroids are extremely difficult to quit once using them, which is why withdrawal symptoms can definitely occur. And once stopping the drug and trying to fight off the urge to use it, depression can settle in. It can even lead to suicidal thoughts and depression. And suicidal thoughts and even actions are caused by depression, which many users and ex-users do happen to face. And a quote right here: anabolic steroid users are more likely to use steroids such as marijuana, prescription opioids, cocaine, or heroin. So about 25% of people after using steroids happen to use some form of drug besides steroids, such as the marijuana, cocaine, heroin. And it's mainly because of just that withdrawal, and you need something, and if they can't have steroids, they need to find that pleasure in something else. Emotional and social problems as well can occur, and many people do deal with this because honestly, when you're off the drug, you get this kind of like paranoid anxiety feeling, and when you're around people, it can create social anxiety, and you have a hard time dealing with people, talking to them, and even aggression can come out of this. And aggression is actually one of the worst problems from steroids because they call it roid rage, because it just makes you angry. And like I haven't heard of anyone that has dealt with this, but I've looked it up, and it can be bad, and it can lead to people getting hurt. So yeah, it's just a very rough situation caused by the aggression. Steroid use can lead to many harmful health effects as well, such as liver diseases, which is the worst and most harmful to the human body, lack of bone development, even the injection of AIDS if the steroid is injected to the body, hepatitis. And although many of the users focus on their health and their body, by taking the steroids, they are ruining their body, which they don't understand. Although they want to look good and they want to focus on their body, they're in reality ruining their body. The long list of minor health effects that can worsen over time include headaches, stomach aches, nosebleeds, severe facial and body acne, decreased joint flexibility, shrunken testicles, and increased sex drive. So like there is a lot of negative effects that can come from steroids. Not although these may be minor, they still can play a large role in developing even more of a problem. And the lack of the growth of the human body can also be experienced by the user. This is because of the lack of bone development. And some of the diseases can be extremely harmful to the body as well. The liver, kidney, and prostate cancer are very common in ex-steroid users. High blood pressure, an increase in cholesterol levels. I mean, even a heart attack and stroke are the chances of that are increased. So there is a lot of things that come along with taking steroids, which is unfortunate, and that's honestly why I just hope that everyone understands how negative this usage of steroids can be. And also, steroids obviously enhance performance in the weight room and even at sports events. And honestly, I just feel like as an ex-athlete, all athletes have a social contract. We all want to fairly compete against each other, and the fact that you're using steroids honestly breaks that contract overall. And that's why many of these players who get tested for PEDs, they are suspended because they're breaking that contract. Now, the use of performance enhancers is cheating because it violates constitutive rules of the activity. Like, it just taking PEDs, although you can get away with it, it's breaking the rules of the social contract and also the rules of the league or the sporting event. Being natural and playing a sport, I feel like, is a lot better than being on PEDs, because you know you're trying your hardest and you're not on anything that will help aid you to be a better player. You're just working hard and trying to be the best you can. Steroids or PEDs can help the human body perform better, which may seem appealing, but aggression and violence in competitive events as well can occur because of this roid rage and the aggression. Like I said earlier, aggression is a large side effect from steroids, and a lot of these players get on a vicious cycle, and it can cause extreme anger in them. And although they may compete at a high level, who knows, they may get kicked out of a sporting event. And also, it's just very noticeable to see the size of a player and be like, yes, this player's on PEDs. Steroids may seem appealing at first, but after a lot of research on them, I've realized how bad they can be. Many get stuck in a vicious cycle of steroid usage, which can lead to harmful effects on the human body. Steroid usage has many negative outcomes, which is why I feel that they should be banned. These negative outcomes include negative psychological effects. It causes the negative health effects, unfair advantage it creates for the user in any competitive events, which can lead to disqualification. Honestly, personally, I just feel like competing at a high level without any PEDs and just working your hardest at the sport that you're playing, or being in a weightlifting event and just grinding in the gym and being natural, you know that you did this by yourself. PEDs, they help aid you in the process. Although there still is hard work included in that, it helps aid tremendously, and it helps put on size, mass, and muscle growth. And it just makes it very unfair for the user. Throughout this speech, I hope you all have taken the time to understand how harmful anabolic steroids can be. It's not worth taking them considering the detrimental outcomes that can happen or occur from steroid usage. As one of my favorite weightlifters, Rich Piana, once said, "There's no reason to do steroids. You're hurting your body. You're hurting yourself."